At my company's annual Innovation Awards ceremony, my cousin stood up from the audience and screamed that I'd stolen her entire career strategy. She had screenshots, she said. Proof that I was a fraud. The ballroom went silent as 300 of San Francisco's tech elite turned to watch me. My CEO looked concerned. My mentor looked shocked. But I just smiled, pulled out my phone, and said the words I'd been rehearsing for 6 months. I was waiting for this moment. Then I hit send on an email that made Melissa's face go white, because what she didn't know was that I'd been inside her secret planning Discord server for the past year, watching every single message as she plotted to become me. Before we dive in, I want to thank you for being part of this community. If stories of standing up for yourself resonate with you, consider subscribing to the Concealed Bonds. It's free, and it helps us continue sharing these moments of truth. Now, let me tell you how my cousin tried to steal my identity, and how her own words became her downfall. Growing up with Melissa Rodriguez wasn't just difficult. It was like living with a mirror that constantly tried to replace you. We weren't raised together, but from the moment we met at a family reunion when I was 16, she made it her mission to study everything about me. At first, I thought she just looked up to me. We were only 2 years apart, and I was flattered when she asked about my college plans, my favorite books, my career goals. What I didn't realize was that she wasn't asking out of interest. She was taking notes. The pattern started small. I'd mention wanting to learn graphic design, and 2 weeks later, Melissa would post about enrolling in the same online course. I'd share my reading list, and suddenly her Instagram stories featured the exact same books, positioned artfully with the same coffee mug aesthetic I used. When I got into Berkeley's marketing program, she applied to the same school. She didn't get in, but she made sure everyone knew she'd tried. But it wasn't until I started my career that things got calculated. I landed my first job at a small startup in San Francisco, working in social media marketing. Within a month, Melissa had moved to the city, claiming she wanted to be closer to family. She started attending the same networking events I mentioned on LinkedIn. She'd show up wearing similar outfits to my professional photos. She even cut her hair to match mine. My brother Alex noticed it first. "Soph, this is getting weird," he told me over dinner one night. "She literally copied your entire LinkedIn bio, just changed a few words." I looked it up, and he was right. Where mine said passionate about authentic brand storytelling, hers said dedicated to genuine brand narratives. Every certification I earned, she enrolled in the same program a month later. Every conference I attended, she bought a ticket. I tried to ignore it. My mom said Melissa just admired me, that imitation was flattery. But then she started going after my professional relationships. I'd connect with someone on LinkedIn, and within days, Melissa would message them too, using conversation starters eerily similar to mine. She befriended my colleagues, pumped them for information about my projects, then would casually mention her ideas that sounded suspiciously like my proposals. The breaking point came 3 years ago when I started working at MedTech Solutions, a pharmaceutical marketing firm. I'd spent months networking to get this position as a marketing coordinator. It was my dream job, the exact stepping stone I needed. 2 weeks after I announced it on LinkedIn, Melissa applied to the same company. She didn't get the job, but she made sure to tell our entire extended family that we both interviewed there, but they only had room for one person. That's when I started paying closer attention. Really paying attention. I noticed she was screenshotting my posts before I could even finish typing them. I'd start drafting a LinkedIn article about marketing trends, save it, and somehow she'd publish something with the same thesis the next day. It was like she had access to my brain. Or my accounts. I changed all my passwords, enabled two-factor authentication, checked for spyware. Nothing. But the copying continued, and it was getting more sophisticated. She wasn't just mimicking my style anymore. She was anticipating my moves, staying one step ahead in ways that felt impossible. Then one night I couldn't sleep and was scrolling through Reddit at 2 a.m. I found a thread about identity theft in professional settings, and someone mentioned discovering a Discord server where people shared social media strategy templates. Something clicked. Melissa was always on Discord. She'd mentioned it casually once, said she was part of productivity communities. I created a burner account and started searching. It took me 3 days of looking through public servers and following breadcrumb trails, but I finally found it. A private Discord server with only 5 members, created and managed by Melissa. The server name made my blood run cold. Project Sophia 2. I couldn't get in initially. It was invite only. But I noticed something. One of the 5 members had a username format that looked like a bot or an alt account. After some digging through Melissa's social media interactions, I realized all 5 accounts were her. She'd created an entire fake community to plan how to become me. That's when I did something I'm not proud of, but desperate times called for desperate measures. I used a Discord exploit I'd learned about in a cybersecurity webinar at work. Nothing illegal, just a loophole in how Discord handled certain server permissions. Within an hour, I had read-only access to Project Sophia 2. What I found inside was chilling. The server had channels organized like a military operation. There was daily tracking where Melissa logged every single one of my social media posts, LinkedIn updates, even my comments on other people's content. There was career path where she documented my entire professional trajectory, from my college internships to my current role, with detailed notes on how to replicate each step. There was network mapping where she'd created literal diagrams of my professional connections, rating them by influence and accessibility. But the worst channel was aesthetic replication. She'd saved hundreds of my photos, breaking down what I wore, how I styled my hair, even the filters I used. She'd created shopping lists of where to buy similar clothes. She had notes on my speech patterns, my vocabulary, the emojis I used. She was building a manual on how to be me. The messages went back 2 years. I spent the entire weekend reading through them, taking screenshots of everything. My hands were shaking as I documented message after message of her obsession. Sophia posted about getting her PMP certification today. One message read, "I need to enroll immediately. Can't let her get too far ahead. She's building toward that director position, I can tell." Another, analyzed her last 50 LinkedIn posts. She uses a specific formula. Industry insight, personal anecdote, call to action question. Tested it on my profile. Engagement up 40%. She doesn't even realize she has a pattern. And another. She's been talking to Lisa Chen a lot. I looked Lisa up. She's the CEO of that startup Sophia consulted for. I need to find a way into that network. Lisa could be my mentor too. Better mentor, even. I'd actually appreciate it. The messages revealed everything. How she'd been following my content calendar, reverse engineering my strategies, even using web scraping tools to download my LinkedIn analytics before they disappeared. She documented my coffee shop routines, the gym I went to, the conferences I planned to attend months in advance. But what really got me was the channel called Endgame. That's where she detailed her ultimate plan. She wasn't just trying to be like me. She was trying to replace me. Once I have the same certifications, the same network, the same opportunities, people will start comparing us, she'd written. And when they do, they'll see I'm the better version. More polished. More dedicated. I work harder for this than she ever did. She just got lucky with Berkeley and her first job. I'm building the same foundation, but stronger. When the time is right, I'll show everyone that I'm what Sophia could have been if she'd actually tried. My mentor Lisa's name came up repeatedly. Melissa had been studying our relationship, trying to figure out how to approach Lisa herself. She'd even created fake scenarios for how she'd accidentally run into Lisa at industry events. The most damning evidence was in a channel called Launch Day. Melissa had been planning for months to make a big public move. She'd been waiting for the right moment, the right stage. And she'd found it. The Innovation Awards ceremony. The awards are in 6 months, one message read. Sophia will probably win the Rising Star Award. Everyone knows it. That's when I make my move. I'll stand up, show my evidence of how she copied MY strategies, MY ideas. I've been documenting everything. Screenshots of our conversations where I gave her advice, timestamps showing my posts came first sometimes, even some edited DMs that make it look like she asked me for help. By the time I'm done, everyone will think she's the copycat, not me. She'd been planning to destroy my reputation at the biggest moment of my career, and she'd been building fake evidence to support her claims. I immediately backed up everything to 3 different cloud services. Then I did something risky. I created my own channels in my private server and started documenting my counter strategy. If she could plan, so could I. I told only 3 people. My brother Alex, my best friend Jordan, and my mentor Lisa. I showed them the Discord server. Lisa was horrified. "This isn't admiration," she said. "This is pathological. I want to expose her," I said. But I want to do it right. I want to wait until she makes her move. Lisa thought I should go to HR immediately. Maybe even get a lawyer. But I knew Melissa. She'd just deny everything, claim I'd fabricated the screenshots, play the victim. I needed her to expose herself in front of witnesses. So I started feeding the Discord server. I didn't post in it, but I made sure my public LinkedIn content was extra detailed about my award ceremony excitement. I posted about the nomination, about preparing my acceptance speech, about how much this recognition meant to me. I wanted her to commit fully to her plan. Through the Discord server, I watched her prepare. She practiced her speech, just like I was practicing mine. She chose her outfit specifically to make a statement. She even bought a red dress because, as she wrote, red commands attention in a sea of black gowns. 2 weeks before the ceremony, Jordan asked me if I was sure about this. What if it backfires? What if people believe her? I pulled up the Discord server on my phone. She has fake screenshots. I have a year of her planning this in writing. I have metadata. I have timestamps. And most importantly, I have her own words admitting this is all a setup. The night before the awards, I barely slept. I kept refreshing the Discord server, watching her final preparations. Her last message, posted at 11:47 p.m., made my stomach turn. Tomorrow everything changes. I've waited so long for this moment. Sophia thinks she's won, thinks she's special. But tomorrow, in front of everyone who matters in this industry, I'm going to show them who really deserves that award. I've got my speech memorized. I've got my evidence loaded on my phone. I even booked a photographer to capture the moment. This is going to be perfect. By tomorrow night, I'll be the one everyone's talking about. Project Sophia 2 is about to become just Melissa 1. I took a screenshot, added it to my evidence folder, and finally managed to fall asleep. The Innovation Awards ceremony was held at the Fairmont Hotel in downtown San Francisco. The ballroom sparkled with chandeliers and tech industry elite. I wore a navy blue dress, kept my makeup simple, and tried to control my nerves. I wasn't nervous about winning the award. I was nervous about what I was about to do. Melissa arrived exactly as planned. Red dress, professional hair and makeup, and a confidence in her stride that I'd never seen before. She caught my eye across the room and smiled. Not a friendly smile, a knowing smile. Lisa squeezed my hand. "You've got this," she whispered. "Everything's ready." The ceremony proceeded normally. Awards for innovation in healthcare tech, for best startup launch, for leadership excellence. And then came the category I'd been nominated for. Rising Star in Marketing. They announced the nominees. My face appeared on the big screen along with 3 others. They read our achievements. And then they said my name. The Rising Star Award goes to Sophia Chen of MedTech Solutions for her groundbreaking work in patient-centered pharmaceutical marketing campaigns. The room erupted in applause. I stood up, smoothed my dress, and started walking toward the stage. I was halfway there when I heard it. "Stop," Melissa's voice cut through the applause. "Stop the ceremony." The room went silent. I turned around, right there in the middle of the aisle, and watched as Melissa stood up from her table in the back. "This is fraud," she shouted, her voice shaking with practiced emotion. "Sophia Chen stole everything from me. Her strategies, her ideas, even her career path. I have proof." She held up her phone, and I could see she had screenshots queued up. Fake evidence, carefully edited conversations, manipulated timestamps. She'd been planning this for months, and she'd done her homework. My CEO stood up. "Miss, this is highly inappropriate." "I'm her cousin," Melissa interrupted, walking down the aisle toward me. "I've watched her steal my work for years. Those marketing campaigns she won this award for. I gave her those ideas. I have messages. I have proof. And I'm not going to stay silent anymore while she gets recognition for my creativity." The room was buzzing. People were pulling out their phones. I could see the confusion on faces around me. This was exactly what she wanted. Maximum exposure, maximum drama, maximum damage. I looked at her as she approached, red dress blazing, tears forming in her eyes right on cue. She'd practiced this. Every word, every gesture. And I smiled. That stopped her. She clearly expected me to cry, to defend myself frantically, to look guilty. Instead, I pulled out my phone. "I was waiting for this moment," I said clearly, loudly enough for everyone to hear. Actually, I've been waiting for 6 months. Melissa's confident expression flickered. What? I looked at my CEO, at Lisa, at the 300 people watching. Could someone pull up my email on the main screen? I just sent something to the event organizers. The tech crew looked confused but did as I asked. Within seconds, the large screen that had just shown award nominees was displaying my email. And attached to it were screenshots. Lots of screenshots. What Melissa doesn't know, I said, walking slowly back toward the stage, is that I've been inside her private Discord server for the past year. The one she called Project Sophia 2. The one where she documented every single step of trying to steal my identity. Melissa's face went from confident to confused to horrified in about 3 seconds. I nodded to the tech crew, and they started scrolling through the screenshots I'd sent. The Discord server name appeared first. Then her channels. Daily tracking. Career path. Network mapping. Aesthetic replication. For 2 years, I continued. My cousin has been copying everything about me. My career moves, my certifications, my professional style, even my LinkedIn bio. I thought it was just admiration at first. Annoying, but harmless. The screen showed her message about replicating my LinkedIn formula. Gasps rippled through the audience. But then I found her planning server, where she documented not just how to copy me but how to replace me. Where she detailed her strategy to publicly accuse me of stealing from her, using fabricated evidence. At this exact ceremony, the screen showed her endgame channel. Her messages about being the better version of me. About how I'd just gotten lucky. Melissa was frozen in the aisle, her phone still in her hand with her fake screenshots, her red dress suddenly looking less like a power move and more like a costume. My cousin even created fake social media accounts to populate her planning server, I said. She'd have conversations with herself, pretending to be a community of supporters, all while plotting how to destroy my reputation. The screen showed the launch day channel. Her detailed plan for today. Her practice runs of the speech she'd just delivered. Even her comment about hiring a photographer to capture my downfall. The screenshots on her phone right now? I gestured at Melissa. Fabricated. I have the original conversations saved with metadata showing when they were actually sent versus when her versions claim they were sent. I also have a forensic analysis report from a cybersecurity firm showing the photo editing software she used to create them. That wasn't entirely true. I'd asked a friend who worked in cybersecurity to look at one of Melissa's screenshots and he'd confirmed it was edited, but I hadn't done a full forensic analysis. But Melissa didn't know that and the bluff worked. Her face crumpled. The practice tears became real ones, but not the kind she'd planned for. Lisa stood up. I'm Lisa Chen, CEO of Tech Health Innovations and Sophia's mentor. Melissa has been trying to infiltrate my network for 18 months. She sent me multiple messages using information she clearly gathered from stalking Sophia's communications with me. I want to state publicly that I've never given Melissa professional advice, never endorsed her work, and had in fact blocked her on LinkedIn 3 months ago for inappropriate outreach. Other people started standing up, a man I recognized from a marketing conference. She approached me last year, claiming to be Sophia Chen's business partner. When I looked into it, nothing checked out. A woman from a rival firm. She sent me a proposal that was word for word identical to a campaign pitch Sophia had presented at a conference. I called Sophia to ask about it, and that's when we realized what was happening. Melissa looked around the room, her red dress now seeming to spotlight her instead of empowering her. Her phone slipped from her hand and clattered to the floor. She started, but no words came out. My CEO walked over to me. Miss Chen, I apologize for any doubt. Please, continue to the stage. I picked up Melissa's phone from where she'd dropped it and held it out to her. You wanted everyone to see your evidence. Maybe you should post it on your social media. I'm sure your followers would be very interested in your methods. She grabbed the phone and ran. Not walked. Ran. The click of her heels echoed through the silent ballroom until the doors swung shut behind her. I walked to the stage, accepted my award, and gave the speech I'd actually prepared. About authentic marketing, about building trust, about the importance of creating your own path instead of following someone else's footsteps. The standing ovation lasted 2 minutes. After the ceremony, I stood in the hotel lobby while people congratulated me. Some asked about Melissa, but most wanted to talk about the award, about my work, about what was next for me. My phone was exploding with LinkedIn notifications, messages of support, and yes, a few media requests about what was already being called the Discord disaster. Lisa pulled me aside. You handled that with more grace than I would have. I didn't want to destroy her, I said. I wanted her to face what she'd done. Mission accomplished. But Sophia, what she did was serious. Identity, theft, fraud, defamation, planning. You could press charges. I'd thought about that. A lot. I just want her to stop. And I think public exposure is a stronger consequence than legal action would be. Alex found me an hour later. Melissa's Instagram is gone. Her LinkedIn is deactivated. Our aunt called Mom, crying. I felt a pang of something. Not quite guilt, but not quite satisfaction either. How's Mom taking it? She's upset, but she saw the screenshots. She understands. The industry reaction was swift. By the next morning, marketing blogs were running stories about professional identity theft. My inbox had 100 interview requests. Several people had come forward with their own stories of Melissa trying to copy their work. But I ignored most of it. I went to work on Monday like normal, had a meeting with my team about our next campaign, and tried to focus on my actual job instead of the drama. 6 months later, my phone buzzed with an unexpected message. It was from Melissa. I almost didn't open it. But curiosity won. Sophia, I know you probably don't want to hear from me. I'm not asking for forgiveness or trying to make excuses. I just wanted you to know that I'm in therapy. Real therapy, not the kind I used to claim I was doing for sympathy. My therapist says I have something called identity disturbance, related to some deeper issues from my childhood. None of this excuses what I did to you. Nothing excuses it, but I wanted you to know I'm trying to understand why I became so obsessed with being you instead of being myself. I moved to Portland. I deleted all my social media. I'm working at a small nonprofit doing community outreach. It's not glamorous, and it's not what I spent years trying to build. But it's mine. Actually mine. Not copied from anyone. I'm learning what my own interests are, what I actually care about instead of what I thought would make me look successful. I don't expect a response to this. I just wanted to say I'm sorry, and I'm trying to do better. I stared at the message for a long time. Alex, reading over my shoulder, asked if I was going to respond. I don't know, I said. Part of me wants to believe people can change. Part of me thinks this might be another manipulation. Trust your gut, he said. My gut said to wait. To see if the change was real. To let time answer the question. 3 months after that, I was presenting at a marketing conference in Seattle. After my panel, a woman approached me. She looked vaguely familiar, but I couldn't place her. Sophia Chen? She asked nervously. I'm Rachel. I work at the Portland nonprofit organization where Melissa Rodriguez volunteers. My guard went up immediately. Okay? I wanted to tell you something, if you have a minute. Melissa doesn't know I'm here. She'd probably die of embarrassment if she knew, but I felt like you should know. I gestured for her to continue. Melissa started volunteering with us 8 months ago. She told us up front about what had happened. Showed us the news articles, everything. She said she wanted to do something real, something that wasn't about building an image. We were skeptical, obviously, but she's been incredible. She runs our social media, and she's completely transparent about every decision. She asks for feedback, admits when she doesn't know something, and she's helped us triple our community engagement. Not by copying anyone's strategies but by actually listening to our community members and amplifying their voices. Rachel pulled out her phone and showed me some posts. They were good. Really good. And they had a voice that wasn't mine, wasn't copied from anyone I recognized. They felt authentic. Last week, Rachel continued, we had a young volunteer who was struggling. She kept comparing herself to other activists, trying to copy their style. Melissa sat with her for 2 hours, talking about the damage comparison does, about the importance of finding your own voice. She shared her own story. The girl was crying by the end, but in a good way. She said it helped her more than anything else had. Rachel looked at me directly. I'm not telling you this to make you forgive her or anything. What she did to you was wrong. But I thought you might want to know that she's not just saying she's changed. She's actually doing the work. After Rachel left, I sat in the hotel lobby for a while, processing. I pulled up Melissa's message again and finally typed a response. I got your message. I appreciate you being honest about what you're working on. I'm not ready for a relationship, but I hope you continue your therapy and your work. Growing into who you actually are is hard, but it's worth it. She responded immediately, just 2 words. Thank you. I don't know if Melissa and I will ever have a real relationship again. I don't know if family dinners will ever be comfortable, or if I'll ever fully trust that she's not studying me for her next move. But I do know that sometimes the best revenge isn't in destroying someone. It's in holding up a mirror and making them see themselves clearly enough that they have to choose, keep pretending, or finally become real. The Innovation Award sits on my desk at work. Sometimes I look at it and remember that night. Not the confrontation, but the moment after. When I gave my speech about authentic marketing to a room full of people who'd just witnessed the consequences of inauthenticity. That moment felt more like a victory than the award itself. And sometimes, late at night, I wonder what Melissa's working on in Portland. Not because I want to copy it, or because I'm worried she's copying me, but because I'm genuinely curious about who she's becoming when she's not trying to become me. Maybe that's the real ending to this story. Not the dramatic confrontation or the public humiliation.
They say just forget. Move on like it's easy. But forgetting you feels like remembering someone I've never seen. I've been trying to erase you from the places in my mind, but the harder that I fight it, the more you're hard to leave behind. Every memory keeps slipping through the cracks I try to close, like a face I should remember, but somehow never know. Forgetting you feels impossible, like chasing something I can't hold. Like trying to remember someone that I've never even known. I keep reaching through the silence for a past I can't undo, 'cause letting go of what we had feels like losing something true. Every moment turns to fragments, every thought just fades to blue, like I'm searching for a feeling that still only leads to you. Forgetting you feels impossible, like chasing something I can't hold, like trying to remember someone that I've never even known. I keep reaching through the silence for a past I can't undo, 'cause letting go of what we had feels like losing something true. If I never met you, maybe I would know just how to heal. But now every empty moment still reminds me what is real. Forgetting you feels impossible, like chasing something I can't hold, like trying to remember someone that I've never even known. I keep reaching through the silence for a past I can't undo, 'cause letting go of what we had feels like losing something true. Some days feel off, like I'm standing but still falling. A little pain, a little tired, and no one to tell it all to. There are days that feel unsteady, like I'm drifting out of place. Every step just feels so heavy, with a smile I have to fake. a little hurt I keep inside me, a little weight I always hide, and 1,000 quiet worries I've been holding deep inside. There's no one here to tell it to, no one who would understand. So I carry all these feelings like they're slipping through my hands. A little broken, little lost, trying hard to just get through. All these nights I stay awake with everything I never say to you. I keep walking through the silence like it's all I've ever known. Every crowded room reminds me how it feels to be alone. There's no one here to tell it to, no one who would understand. So I carry all these feelings like they're slipping through my hands. A little broken, little lost, trying hard to just get through. All these nights I stay awake with everything I never say to you. Maybe one day I'll be stronger, maybe I'll learn how to speak, but for now I keep it buried in the parts of me too weak. There's no one here to tell it to, no one who would understand. So I carry all these feelings like they're slipping through my hands. A little broken, little lost, trying hard to just get through. All these nights I stay awake with everything I never say to you.